Hey, welcome back to another video. Yesterday, Thinking Machines released Inkling, which is their first LLM, and it's not actually a state-of-the-art model. But it might actually be the point, because their entire point and value proposition is the customization. So let's have a quick look at what Thinking Machines, what kind of company it even is. It is a company that's started by the former CTO of OpenAI, Mira Murati, and there's not that much known about the company, so complete ownership percentages, for example, are not made public. However, we do know that there are some quite notable investors, for example Mark Andreessen from A16Z and Nvidia. The company is valued at $12 billion and it has raised $2 billion in a seed round. Now, what have they released in the past? Last year in October they released Tinker, which is their managed fine-tuning API, so it allows you to bring a model and fine-tune it on data. So this is also basically what the value proposition of Mistral is. Now, last May they released interaction models, but that was a research preview, which allowed for continuous audio, video and text collaboration. And yesterday they released Inkling, which is their first foundational model, which is trained from scratch and is designed as a customizable generalist and background reasoning model. And this model can be customized using the Tinker API. So if we look at the model, the open weights are actually only part of what makes Inkling Inkling. It has almost 1 billion parameters, of which 41 are actually active because it's a mixture of experts. It is multimodal because it allows for text input, image input and also audio input, so this is quite interesting. And it has a context window of 1 million input parameters. And now the catch comes, it is an Apache 2.0 license. So the weights are public and you can self-host them if you have the compute budget, and it can be used commercially. Now, the real value proposition of this model release is that it's combined with Tinker, which is the fine-tuning API. So what you can do is you can go into OpenCode, you can tell it, well, we have this LLM, which is Inkling, and we tell it to fine-tune. We can give it data, we can give it something. We can, for example, say that it can't spell any more the letter E. Then it can fine-tune itself using the Tinker API and give a model release back to you, which you can then use. And this is incredibly valuable for companies that have a lot of internal data and they want to own the weights that are in the model. These are companies that have privacy concerns, for example. So this is the value proposition. Now, it is a strong open base, but it's also not a frontier leader. So if we look at some benchmarks, we can see that in design arena, it has an ELO of 1257, which is 3 points behind GPT 5.6 Sol, which is, we made a video about it 2 videos ago. And on some other benchmarks, we can see that it actually lags behind quite a lot. So on Sweetbench Pro, it lags Fable behind with 25 percentage points. And on the Artificial Analysis Intelligence Index, it scores 41, which is the number 10 of the 100 models they allow you to see. So yeah, it's not the best, but also it's a strong open base and you can customize it. However, just because it has open weights, it doesn't mean the API is necessarily cheap. If we look at the input pricings, we can see that it is for the 64 context window, it has an input price of almost $2 and an output price of $5, which is very comparable with GPT 5.6 Sol. However, that then has a larger context window. And for the larger context window, we can see that the prices are basically doubled. Now, who should use this model? Well, I think you should use it if you have a lot of specialized knowledge, you need to own the weights of the model you use, or you have to continuously fine-tune the model in order for it to perform. If you're just looking for the cheapest API or the strongest general chatbot, then some other models might be a better fit for you. However, this is a very interesting model release, and it's an interesting way of delivering value in quite a niche. So I hope you right now understand the new model release from Mira Murati. I think it's quite interesting and I'm very eager to see where they are heading in the future. If you have any questions, please leave a comment and see you in the next video.